Hare Krishna. So now we're going to do some bhajan. We're going to chant for Lord Caitanya. Nice, very nice song. It's called Udila Aruna. And it describes how Lord Caitanya went on the streets of Navadvip and he chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then we're going to do Jaya Radha Madhava, and then His Grace Purujit, who is going to give a class. So, Hare Krishna. Udila Aruna Purabhabhage Dvijamani Gauram Marjage Udila Aruna Purabhabhage Dvijamani Gauram Marjage Bhakata Samaha Loila Sate Gelanagar Braje Bhakata Samaha Loila Sate Gelanagar Braje Tatai Tatai Bhaje Lokol Gana Ganata He Jajera Rol Tatai Tatai Bhaje Lokol Gana Ganata He Jajera Rol Breme Dala Dala Sonaranga Jharane Nupur Baje Preme Dala Dala Sondaranga Jharane Nupur Baje Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Vadana Bari Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolor Bolena Bolore Vadana Bari Michenida Pasege Michenida Pasege Lolerati Divasa Sharira Saje Emena Durlabha Manava Deho Payaki Korabhavana Keho Emena Durlabha Manava Deho Payaki Korabhavana Keho Ebena Bajileya Sora Sutta Chara me Puribella Je Ebena Bajileya Sora Sutta Chara me Puribella Je Udita Tapana Hoile Asta Dinagelo Boli Hoi Bebiasta Udita Tapana Hoile Asta Dinagelo Boli Hoi Bebiasta Tabakeno Ebehala Sahoya Nabaje Hridaraje Tabakeno Ebehala Sahoya Nabaje Hridaraje tahe nana vida viparabar, jivana anitya janna hasar, tahe nana vida viparabar, jivana anitya janna hasar, tahe nana vida viparabar, dhava namashraya kori jatane tumi, dhaka panakaje, namashraya kori jatane tumi, dhaka panakaje, jivera kalyana sadhanaka, jagate ha siema, amashraya kori jatane tumi, rirgagan giraya kori jatane tumi, hargagan viraje, namashraya kori jatane tumi, rirgagan viraje, Krishna nama suda koripan, jora bakati vinoda pran, Krishna nama suda koripan, jora bakati vinoda pran, Krishna nama suda koripan, jora bakati vinoda pran, nama bina kichu naiko haro, choda bhovana maje, nama bina kichu naiko haro, choda bhovana maje, jiv jago, Gora chandar bole, jiv jago, Gora chandar bole, khota nidra jamaya, pisachira kole, baji baboliya esse samsara vitare, baji baboliya esse samsara vitare, boliaro hile tumi, avidyara bare, boliaro hile tumi, avidyara bare, thomare loite tumi, ainu avatara, ami bina bando ara, ke aceto mara, eneci au sodi maya, nasibaro lage, harinama mahamantra, lao tumi maji, eneci au sodi Maya Nasibaro Lage Harinama Mahamantra Leo Tummi Mage Bhakati Vinoda Prabhu Charana Pareya Say Hari Nama Mantra Loiloma Jiya Jiv Jago Gora Chandar Bole Jiv Jago Gora Chandar Bole Jiv Jago Gora Chandar Bole. It worked when I checked earlier, so I know what happened then. Yay. I don't know what happened because I checked the screen and it worked, but...
Why is it black?
But it was just deactivate or something. But I swear I checked and it worked when I started to chant. Do you have still any viewers left?
It's 4.
Yeah, I don't know why it blacked out. Anyway, it can be done now. All right, so that was a nice bhajan. And we have 5 minutes left. Let's do a quick Java Madhava, then Prabhu is going to give a class. Huh? That's the schedule, Prabhu, yeah?
Yes.
Technical equipment and me, not very compatible.
Yeah, that's why you should look at it.
I checked, but during the... Okay, sure. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivarodhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivarodhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Jaya Om Vishnupad Param Saparibrajacacharya Ashatara Shata His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jaya Om Vishnupad Param Saparibrajacacharya Ashatara Shata His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Shri Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Shri Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhar Shri Asiti Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Chamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Yamuna Devi Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Samaveta Bhaktarinda Ki Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, dear friends. Please write Hare Krishna into the comment sections. Hare Krishna, 2 sweet words. Agori, Hare Krishna. Shamdai, Hare Krishna. Nurlan Kasenov, Hare Krishna. Nurlav. Who else is watching?
Manish Pangeni, Michelle Williams, Hare Krishna. Where is everybody? Dennis, Hare Krishna Dennis. Thank you for joining us again. YouTube, anybody would like to help me out here? Frank is back. Thank you for coming back. Frank is back.
Jim Con 6745.
Jim Con.
RP, I'm thinking it's Prakash.
Ruda Prakash?
It's RP, this is RP.
Ah, RP, Hare Krishna.
Kifla Cat. Oh, no, I don't think anyone's on Twitch. Oh, we have one viewer, but I can't see him.
Okay, TikTok. Come on, TikTok. Right, Hare Krishna. Don't be shy.
HH Guru Gerard.
Yes, Guru Jarod, Hare Krishna.
Back to Morgan.
Back to Morgan. Nice. Katie, maybe? Or Alexandra? No.
Goth Sparkles.
Goth Sparkles, yes.
Back.
Hare Krishna, welcome back.
Hirat Jays, Capitolera, the twins' grandmom, lots of people.
Okay. I see Rudra Prakash just logged in. Hare Krishna, Rudra Prabhu.
Sure, I don't really.
Katie was there in the beginning. Katie was there.
Yeah, you do.
I really don't. Like, I don't know who I'm meant to be tagging. You can't just say tag. I need a list. This is why we made a list last year.
Can you get it?
I don't know if it still exists. I think I deleted it because it became irrelevant from last year.
Just take this phone. You can tag from here.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Sure. But again, I don't know who to tag.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from the Caitanya Caritamrita Adi Lila chapter 4, text 42, starting from text 42. 4 kinds of devotees are the receptacles of the 4 kinds of mellows in love of God, namely servitude, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. Each kind of devotee feels that his sentiment is the most excellent, and thus in that mood he tastes great happiness with Lord Krishna. But if we compare the sentiments in an impartial mood, we find that the conjugal sentiment is superior to all in sweetness. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. No one is higher or lower than anyone else in transcendental relationships with the Lord. For in the absolute realm, everything is equal. But although these relationships are absolute, there are also transcendental differences between them. Thus, the transcendental relationship of conjugal love is considered the highest perfection. Next, increasing love is experienced in various tastes, one above another. But that love which has the highest taste is the gradual succession of desire manifests itself in the form of conjugal love. Purport. This is a verse from Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Next. Therefore I call it Madhura Rasa. It has 2 further divisions, namely wedded and unwedded love. there is a great increase of mellow in the unwedded conjugal mood. Such love is found nowhere but in Vraj. This mood is unbounded in the damsels of Vraj, but among them it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. Her pure, mature love surpasses that of all others. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna's tasting the sweetness of the conjugal relationship. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, who is Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desires. Purport by His Divine Grace. Of the four kinds of reciprocation of loving service, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya, Madhurya is considered the fullest. But the conjugal relationship is further divided into two varieties, namely Svakhya and Parakya. Svakhya is the relationship with Krishna as a formerly married husband, and Parakya is the relationship with Krishna as a paramour. Expert analysts have decided that the transcendental ecstasy of the Parakya mellow is better because it is more enthusiastic. This phase of conjugal love is found in those who have surrendered to the Lord in intense love, knowing well that such illicit love with a paramour is not morally approved in society. The risks involved in such love of Godhead make this emotion superior to the relationship in which such risk is not involved. The validity of such risk, however, is possible only in the transcendental realm. Svakhya and Parakya conjugal love of Godhead have no existence in the material world, and Parakya is not exhibited anywhere in Vaikuntha, but only in the portion of Goloka Vrindavan known as Vraj. Some devotees think that Krishna is eternally the enjoyer in Goloka Vrindavan, but only sometimes comes to the platform of Vraj to enjoy Parakya Ras. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, however, have explained that Krishna's pastimes in Vraj are eternal, like his other activities in Goloka Vrindavan. Vraj is a confidential part of Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna exhibited his Vraj pastimes on the surface of this world, and similar pastimes are eternally exhibited in Vraj in Goloka Vrindavan, where Parakya Ras is ever existent. In the 3rd chapter of this epic, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has explicitly accepted the fact that Krishna appears in this material world at the end of the Dvapara Yuga, of the 28th Chatur Yuga of Vaivasvata Manu, and brings with him his Vrajadam, which is the eternal abode of his highest pastimes. As the Lord appears by his own internal potency, so also he brings all his paraphernalia by the same internal potency without extraneous help. It is further stated here in Caitanya Caritamrita that the Parakya sentiment is existent only in that transcendental realm and nowhere else. This highest form of ecstasy can exist only in the most confidential part of the transcendental world. But by the closest mercy of the Lord, we can have a peep into that invisible Vraj. The transcendental mellow relished by the gopis in Vraj is super excellently featured in Srimati Radharani. Mature assimilation of the transcendental humor of conjugal love is represented by Srimati Radharani, whose feelings are incomprehensible even to the Lord Himself. The intensity of her loving service is the highest form of ecstasy. No one can surpass Srimati Radharani in relishing the transcendental mellow qualities of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord Himself agreed to assume the position of Radharani in the form of Lord Sri Gauranga. He then relished the highest position of Parakya as exhibited in the transcendental abode of Raj. Om Agyan Tirinandasya Gyanajana Shalakayam Chakshunadmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master's divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, as you can see, devotional service, bhakti yoga, is a great science. It is not some kind of a religious sentiment. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they have written so many books to enlighten us about the mellows of ecstasy in transcendental love of Godhead. And also to distinguish the genuine bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, pure devotional service, from the shadow bhakti or deviant bhakti. And this is very important. After the 6 Goswamis disappeared, Lord Chaitanya disappeared, then the 6 Goswamis disappeared. The deviant practices started appearing just like mushrooms after rain in India. So great acharyas, they have written more elaboration just to help us distinguish the genuine from the false. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur especially has done tremendous service in this regard. He has defeated in his writing 13 deviant sects of Vaishnavism. Those of you who were attending the class last Friday, Caitanya Caritamrita class, were discussing one of these groups, Gauranga Nagaris. Gauranga Nagaris, Saki Beki. There are so many. So, the first thing to understand is that we have a relationship with Krishna. Knowing Krishna doesn't mean knowing Krishna alone. That is not enough. We must know our relationship. Our foundational understanding is that that relationship is in service. We're not the master. Nobody here is a master. We're all servants. We're always serving. Don't think that you are controlling anything. Even if you think I am controlling, you're being controlled by lust, anger, greed. So you're never the controller. You're always the servant. But right now we're serving the material energy. That is the difficulty. The temporary material manifestations, they bewilder us, and we waste valuable time chasing after the objects of the sense gratificatory functions. So it's very important that this knowledge is clearly delineated and clearly assimilated also. This is the duty of the spiritual master. The spiritual master enlightens us about our relationship with Krishna. This we have to keep in mind, especially when we present Krishna consciousness to others. When we preach, it is not enough to say there is God or God is great. We must also enlighten people about our relationship with God. And that relationship is service, devotional service. One of the chapters in the Bhagavad Gita is called devotional service. It is by devotional service, bhaktiya mama vijanati, that Krishna's personality is revealed. Those who do not render service to Krishna, they cannot understand Krishna's personal feature. They will think that Krishna is just an ordinary man and make offenses and remain covered in ignorance. So it is through the service Krishna's personality becomes revealed. Divyam Jnanam, the transcendental knowledge that we receive from the spiritual master, is revealed knowledge, not a theoretical knowledge. Theoretical knowledge it is, yes, when we read, but when we also apply the teachings in our daily life, that knowledge becomes realized. Jnana, Vigyan, both are required. So now this relationship, if we go a little bit more specific, can be divided into 5 rasas, 5 different mellows. There is the mellow of neutral, there is the mellow of servitorship, then there's a little bit more intimate friendship, parenthood, and finally conjugal. And this conjugal can also be divided into 2. That has been explained here. Parakya and Swakya. Swakya means wedded relationship. Just like the queens, if you read the Krishna book, the queens of Dwarka, the queens of Mathura, queens of Dwarka. Krishna married 16,108 wives. And to each wife, he built a nice palace bedecked with jewels. So Krishna is enjoying with his devotees in conjugal relationship, wedded in marriage, civilized. He takes care of the wives very nicely, and he acts like an ordinary grihastha. But then there's a higher rasa, higher mellow, parakya. This famous pastime of Rasa Leela, when Krishna is dancing with the gopis, this is an example of parakya ras, because all these gopis, they were married. And they run away from their house to simply join Krishna illegally. So this parakya ras is higher. How do we understand? Well, how can it be higher? It is sinful. It is illicit. There was one passage especially here. This phase of conjugal love is found in those who have surrendered to the Lord in intense love. knowing well that such illicit love with a paramour is not morally approved in society. It is not morally approved in society. This is the highest. The highest mellow, the highest form of love of Godhead is not approved morally in a society. See, that is why this Krishna consciousness is a science. Because we might bump into these apparent contradictions or become bewildered. So many people are bewildered. Why Krishna is dancing with others' wives? What is this? He is some kind of a Casanova or something. And people criticizing the character of Krishna. So that is because they don't understand who Krishna is. Because they have not rendered any service. This is the difficulty. Krishna's enjoyment, Krishna's pastime with the gopis are the most pure. Because for Krishna, there is no such moral obligation. Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna is the supreme controller, the supreme Godhead. His enjoyment is healthy enjoyment because He is the controller. He is the enjoyer. We're imitating Him. So for us it is not good. But He is the real thing. For Him it is good. And why it is good? Because we are His parts and parcels. Mama vamsho jiva bhuta jiva loka sanatana manasastran indriyani pakatistani kashati. We are His amshas. We're His insignificant parts and parcels. So when Krishna enjoys, it is not selfish enjoyment. The whole world enjoys. Just like by watering the root of a tree, all the branches are watered. Similarly, when Krishna is pleased, then all living entities are pleased. Because they're His parts and parcels. They're eternally connected, attached to Krishna in a relationship, either direct or indirect. If you don't want to serve Krishna, still you will serve Krishna in a form of the material nature. There is no escape. But if you serve Krishna directly, then you participate in His enjoyment. So, what is considered abominable in this material world, not only abominable, but most abominable. This illicit sex life, this is the most abominable, most sinful. So the whole society is destroyed by this sinful activity. But in the spiritual world, this is the highest. And why? Because it gives this excitement of doing something that is forbidden, dangerous. So from the platform of rasa, development of ecstasy, mellow, this is the highest. Because the feeling is the strongest. They are all love of Godhead. Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. These are all, that's all love of Godhead. There is no qualitative difference between these different mellows of Krishna consciousness. But there is a transcendental distinction. You follow what it means, transcendental distinction? Otherwise everything would be boring. If everything was the same in the spiritual world, it would be very boring. Oneness is boring. So it is transcendental, it is one, but simultaneously it is also full of varieties. You see, so it is both. They're equal, and at the same time there is a transcendental hierarchy between these two. So this is the evolution or development of rasa. Dasya is not so intimate, servant. Friendship is a little bit more intimate. Parenthood, more intimate. Conjugal, most intimate. Even in this material world, these rasas exhibit themselves. You have a different type of love for your mother and different type of love for your wife or girlfriend. What you do with your girlfriend, you will not do with your mother, hopefully. And similarly, the servant also. The servant loves the master. But that love is not exactly the same as conjugal love. See, a little bit more distant, but love nevertheless. So these are the transcendental distinctions in these highly elevated stages of Krishna consciousness. We don't have to practice these artificially. That, I have a conjugal, now I must practice my conjugal, I'm a gopi, I'm going to dress in a sari here. And these relationships will be automatically revealed to us when our heart becomes purified from this Ishvara Bhav, from this controlship, so-called propensity. That is the root of all our sinful activities. We think, I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I am God. So when this mentality subsides, the realization of my relationship with Krishna, concrete relationship, manifests. At least this we have to understand. We're dasya. We are servants of Krishna. And with that humble attitude, we should take up the process of purification, especially hearing from realized souls about Krishna, about his pastimes, and by gradually purifying our heart, these truths will be automatically revealed to us. That is Divyam Jnana. Again, it is revealed. It cannot be learned artificially. And I will artificially do this. So Lord Chaitanya, Gauranga, he comes to also taste these mellows, these ecstasies. And Lord Gauranga is Krishna himself. He comes in the form of his devotee to taste these mellows. It is so tasty, it's so ecstatic that even the Lord himself becomes attracted to tasting it. This is the explanation behind his appearance in this world. He wants to taste this rasa. And side by side, he launches this Krishna consciousness movement. And he distributes the same opportunity to all living entities. Whoever joins this Krishna consciousness movement, he has an opportunity, she has an opportunity to come to the highest perfection of spiritual life. Siddha Swarupa, Swarupa Siddhi. The perfection of one's relationship with the Lord. Perfection of realization. We don't realize, we have no clue. So if we follow these steps, then we can come to that position very easily. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a really nectarian class. My question is, you said concrete relationship. Does that mean that we have one relationship with Krishna and we don't change?
Yes.
Or in the spiritual world, can we, like, can you change? Can you change your form?
You can, but usually you don't. It is just like if I ask you, would you like to be a boy now? You will say no. Or if I ask Maxim, would you like to be a woman?
No, girls of Kuti.
So, it's like that. There's some constitutional form we have, and we want to serve in that form. But it is also possible. Prabhupada confirms this in a conversation with Revatinanda and Prabhu. At the time, Swami. He asked him this specific question, can we change? And Prabhupada says, yes, if you want. But generally, you don't do that. There's no need for that. The Prabhupada says that every devotee thinks that his rasa is the topmost excellent.
There's a couple questions on Facebook.
Yes?
Nityananda Prabhu asks,
The mic.
Nityananda Prabhu asks, why does God need to come and experience? Shouldn't he just be able to know since he is God?
Well, he doesn't have to come here to experience. There's a portion in the spiritual world called Navadvip. So Lord Chaitanya is also enjoying there in the spiritual world. And Lord Chaitanya is eternal. He doesn't have to come here, but he comes here. That is to our great fortune.
There's a town in Bengal called Navadvip. Is this connected? Or is it just coincidence that the place is called Navadvip?
No, it's the same.
Same.
Yeah.
Transcendental.
Yeah.
Also, Peter Krishna has a question.
Yeah.
Please, even we do not understand all these relationships to Krishna, we should hope it will, in time, hopefully. So basically, if this doesn't make sense to us, should we expect or hope that it will be revealed to us?
Yes. Put the emphasis on chanting Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is simply to give us an idea that this is the goal. It's like an advertisement that this is what you can have if you practice Krishna consciousness. But it's not that now we're gonna, as I said, practice artificially all these rasas.
I have another question, and then we go to TikTok. So TikTok, prepare your questions now. You mentioned, I hope this is related enough, like that the highest is that even though the gopis are married, they're meeting with Krishna, so that they have that parakya rasa.
Mm-hmm.
Can we, in devotee relationship, just
Don't do this in devotee relationship.
no, I'm not asking for. I'm like asking for a friend. Can you think of Krishna as your like true lover and just like do your duties very nicely with your husband, or do you have to just like forget Krishna and go to your husband?
One time, Prabhupada said in a class, there was this devotee, Saradya. She was 16 years old. And Prabhupada told her that Krishna is so nice, that Krishna can even kiss you. So, there's a danger that you will think of Krishna as a sense gratificatory object. You cannot approach Krishna in the same way you would approach your husband, boyfriend, like that. It's not a mundane lust. The gopis, they feel very unworthy of Krishna's presence. They push the other gopis. No gopi wants to go to Krishna. They push the other. You go, you're more qualified. They're pushing each other. Krishna kissing me, Krishna hugging me. Oh, why would I give disturbance to Krishna like that? And meditating when Krishna goes to take care, how do you say, pasture the cows?
Yeah, pasture, field, meadow.
Yeah.
Take care of the cows.
Take care of the cows. when he goes with the cows. The gopis, they're crying. Oh, Krishna's beautiful soft lotus feet are landing on the rocky ground. Oh, and they feel great disturbance just by meditating on that. That is real love. Not that, oh, I want to have sex with Krishna. That is sajya. That is sajya. That we have to be careful.
It's that his feet are feeling even the slightest discomfort.
Yeah. Yeah. Unworthy. Always unworthy. I am not worthy of Krishna's love. No. Therefore, let me approach from a distance. Service. We're serving Krishna. Worshipping the deity. Going out on Sankirtan. Hearing about Krishna's pastimes. This should be the focus. Not at all. I'm going to have, romance with Krishna.
Nityananda Prabhu is expanding on his challenge. He says, but there's no childhood pastimes in the spiritual world.
There's no what?
Childhood pastimes in the spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes here to experience that also. How to understand?
No. Although there are no children in the spiritual world, the rasa of Vatsalya is there. Everybody looks to 16 years old in the spiritual world. But still, one is acting like a parent, one is acting like a friend. The rasas are there. They don't need to, have the same form. It's a spiritual world, unlimited. Please don't forget. So they enjoy the childhood pastimes, even in the spiritual world.
Okay, so...
Otherwise, these rasas would not be eternal.
Okay, Elson on TikTok says, if God is the absolute with no needs, why does he create the material world, the purpose?
The purpose is that you wanted to enjoy separately from God as the separate enjoyer, as separate God. So God cannot be created. God is God eternally. You cannot become God. Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, therefore, created this material world where everybody has illusion that he is the center of all activities, that he is God. And when we come to our senses, then we are elevated back home, back to the spiritual world. So it's like a toy for a naughty child, the material world. That's all.
Someone is challenging like how you know what you're talking about. He said, I asked a question about the spiritual world, and he said he answered like he has died and come back with answers. So he's basically asking, how do you know the answers to these questions?
We're following the disciplic succession. Krishna appeared in this world and gave us these teachings. Otherwise, how can you understand by your mind? Your mind is limited. Your senses are limited. You cannot even see your own eyelid. So, this is not the process to understand transcendental subject matters. The process is to accept transcendental authority. So we get all this information from Krishna himself. And through the disciplic succession, it is passed down to our generation. This is the process. If suppose, I don't know what is behind that wall. So if I try to speculate, I'll be unsuccessful. But if Hamsini goes and she sees, oh, it's a garage and there's so many books there and so on and so on, and she comes back and she speaks the truth, then just by putting trust in Hamsini, I can get the real information. So in the same way with Krishna.
My question is, how do you use your intelligence without mentally speculating?
How you use
How do you use your intelligence without mentally speculating?
to allow?
Without mentally
Without,
speculating.
You have two types of speculation. One is mental speculation, and the other is philosophical speculation. So philosophical speculation is allowed. Buddhi yogam dadamitam. Bhakti yoga is also called buddhi yoga, the yoga of intelligence. So intelligence we must use. It is not that we deny the intelligence. But we have to use it in the way that is favorable to Krishna. So suppose Krishna says, I am the taste in water. We should use our intelligence to find out how Krishna is the taste in water. Just like these purports, right? I'm reading the purports and I'm trying to explain why this is so. It is not that I'm giving some lecture and then I say, and by the way, here Prabhupada made a mistake, and here Krishna made a mistake. That is mental speculation. If you try to deny the authority of Krishna or the spiritual master, then you immediately come to the realm of mental speculation. That is completely useless, because the mind is very imperfect. Next.
Yeah, a few more TikTok questions.
How many viewers we have?
On TikTok, 46.
Okay.
It's been quite steady.
Okay.
As
Thank you.
yesterday.
Thank you for joining us. Yes.
15 on Facebook. Historian says, will there ever be another Acharya sent by Krishna? Will there ever be another Acharya sent by Krishna?
Yeah, you are the Acharya. You are. Why are you waiting? You become the Acharya. Very easy to become an Acharya. Follow the Acharya. Every Acharya is a perfect disciple. So if you're a perfect disciple, then you also become an Acharya. Acharya means one who teaches by example. So the Acharya, he wants to make people Krishna conscious. So he himself must be Krishna conscious. He must be exemplary. And if you're not exemplary, if you're simply posing as a big Acharya, but at the same time you're a fool number one, then that will not be successful. Nobody will care for you.
Ephemeral, I can't find the rest of those.
But in the presence of the Acharya, no disciple will try to become an Acharya. See, Srila Prabhupada is present. His message is relevant. Therefore, there is no need of another Acharya. If the sun is in the sky, why are you taking a torchlight? I'm going to show you the sun, and you go with your torchlight. What's the use of that? The sun is there, we're taking benefit from the sun, leave it. Don't confuse with your tiny little torchlight. Yes?
Ephemeral. Will it take many lifetimes to progress according to karma?
It's entirely up to you. It can take one lifetime, it can take millions of lifetimes. If you make a decision to become Krishna conscious now, then it can be very, very fast. But because we're not making that decision, then it will take a few lifetimes, yes. So how to develop that determination? You should associate with the devotees. That is why we have these programs here, especially on Sunday. We invite everyone to come and take part in the kirtan. Of course, you can watch the class through the phone. That's okay, it's better than nothing, but you can't compare it to physically coming and taking part in the kirtan and taking prasadam. Maybe in the future they will invent some email prasadam, but for now you cannot take prasadam through TikTok. So that's why everybody should come here, associate with the devotees, and he become very, very determined to be successful in this very lifetime. just like our Dhananjaya Prabhu. He is very convinced. Yes?
Here on YouTube, Kevin says,
Who?
Kevin,
Okay.
Prabhu, why did Rasa dance happen if for only once, when Sri Krishna was in Vrindavan for so many years? What was the catalyst?
Catalyst?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Reason for it happening.
What was the reason for the Rasa dance?
Well, Krishna wants to attract you. Because everybody is interested in man-woman relationship. Just like when we discuss women, sex and family life, that we have so many viewers and so many questions. When we discuss purification, there are 0 questions. So it's very attractive. So Krishna wants to attract you by using this pastime to purify you. Why? I don't think it happened only once. It happened many times. Rasalila dancing.
There's no more relevant questions, just like, like, is it Buddhism?
Is it Buddhism?
Is it Hinduism? Do you believe in the Bible?
Yeah, see, people want to categorize immediately. They feel great anxiety if Krishna is not limited. They want to limit God into these different boxes. That is a difficulty. See, God is not a question of religion. You follow religion, that's okay. You should be categorized. If you follow Jesus, follow Jesus. Don't go all the way. Pick the best out of all religions and follow none. But God cannot be confined to one religion. Okay, thank you so much. Grantaraj Sri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gora Premanandi.
Namaste Praya Krishna Bhutri Shmara Bhakti Vedanta Samani Namaste Saraswati Gurvani Brachari Nandin Vishesha Shunavari Pasha.
That was a really nice class.
Thank you.
Can you end the stream back again and then I'll back up?